Welcome to a world where two extraordinary design traditions collide, Chinoiserie and Victorian. Today, we're exploring how the delicate grace of the East meets the bold, theatrical flair of the Victorian age. This journey will show you how to blend these rich aesthetics into a space that's both luxurious and deeply personal. Chinoiserie, meaning Chinese-esque, emerged in 17th century Europe. It captured the West's romanticized interpretation of Asian arts, weaving fantastical pagodas, intricate florals, and exotic imagery into architecture, furniture, and decor. Its spirit lies in dreamlike landscapes and delicate forms that celebrate the mystery of the East. The Victorian era, named after Queen Victoria, embraced maximalism. It was a time of ornate details, dark wood furnishings, rich colors, and grand embellishments. Drama was everything, from opulent draperies to intricate wallpapers, making every room a stage where design performed its grand act. Chinoiserie and Victorian styles seem at odds, one light and whimsical, the other heavy and dramatic. But when skillfully blended, they create a unique tension that feels electric yet harmonious. It's about letting the softness of Chinoiserie temper Victorian weight, and Victorian grandeur elevate Chinoiserie charm. Silhouettes define a space's visual structure. In chinoiserie, forms are airy and fluid, while Victorian silhouettes are robust and commanding. Imagine a delicately painted lacquer cabinet set against the backdrop of a grand velvet curtain Victorian bay window. It's a dialogue of contrasts that feels fresh and exciting. Scrollwork, the curling, spiraling decoration found in both traditions, serves as a bridge. In chinoiserie, it's often found in delicate bamboo motifs or flowing cloud patterns. Victorian scrollwork, meanwhile, is bolder, appearing in wrought iron gates, carved furniture, and ceiling moldings. Together, they tell a lavish visual story. To blend these styles seamlessly, start with color. Chinoiserie often uses light, dreamy palettes, think pastels and golds, while Victorian decor is known for deep burgundies, emeralds, and navy blues. Merging the two involves layering, soft undercurrents of pastel beneath richer, saturated accents for balance. Both styles adore wallpaper. Chinoiserie wallpaper brings hand-painted vistas of birds and flowers, while Victorian walls burst with dense florals and damasks. Consider using a chinoiserie mural as a feature wall, framed by Victorian moldings, to create a breathtaking fusion of old-world romance and Eastern fantasy. Furniture is the skeleton of your decor. Victorian furniture often features heavy, carved woods and elaborate upholstery. Chinoiserie pieces, however, are sleeker, lacquered surfaces, cabriole legs, and minimal carvings. Mixing them adds textural depth and shows off the best qualities of both traditions. Textiles carry much of a room's soul. Victorian homes layered rich fabrics, velvet drapes, brocade cushions, and heavy tapestries. In contrast, chinoiserie textiles favor silk embroideries and light cottons. Blend these by mixing plush Victorian fabrics with delicate Asian silks to create a tactile, lush environment. Victorian lighting was all about drama, ornate chandeliers, stained glass lamps, and gilded sconces. Chinoiserie-inspired lighting, on the other hand, favors softer lanterns and porcelain bases. Try combining a grand Victorian chandelier with smaller, chinoiserie-style table lamps for a lighting scheme that feels both majestic and serene. Mirrors amplify light and space, essential in Victorian design, which often fought against heavy interiors. Chinoiserie mirrors, decorated with lacquered frames or delicate scenes, can sit beautifully alongside ornate Victorian gilt mirrors, creating an interplay of reflections that opens up even the most dramatic spaces. Flooring sets the tone. Victorian floors were rich, dark woods, patterned encaustic tiles, or intricate rugs. In a chinoiserie blend, add a handwoven Chinese rug over Victorian hardwood floors, or place bamboo or rattan accents on a dramatic tiled floor for contrast and continuity. Victorian ceilings often featured decorative medallions, cornices, and even frescoes. Chinoiserie touches could include delicate paper lanterns or painted cloud motifs. A bold idea? Combine an elaborate Victorian medallion with a chinoiserie-inspired chandelier, creating a breathtaking vertical axis in your decor. Art is key to fusing styles. Hang traditional Victorian oil portraits alongside delicate chinoiserie prints of landscapes and mythical scenes. The contrast sparks a conversation between eras and continents, inviting your guests into a visual journey through time and culture. Accessories complete a room. Victorian accessories like ornate clocks, porcelain figurines, and gilded frames offer drama. Chinoiserie accessories, think blue and white vases, silk fans, and bamboo trays, bring in lightness. Layer them thoughtfully, balancing heavy with light, to maintain a visual equilibrium. Victorian homes often had lush conservatories, while chinoiserie gardens emphasized natural harmony with rocks, water, and delicate plants. Bring these inspirations indoors with potted palms, orchids, and bamboo arrangements set in Victorian-style planters for a refreshing, green vitality. A Victorian mantelpiece was often a dramatic focal point, laden with mirrors, candlesticks, and busts. Reimagine this with chinoiserie elegance. Add a porcelain ginger jar or a delicate bonsai tree amid the heavy Victorian accents, creating a more balanced and intriguing display. First impressions matter. Victorian doors were grand and heavy, often carved and stained. Bring in chinoiserie by adding Asian-inspired door knockers or delicate painted panels. This small but powerful fusion makes an immediate style statement that sets the tone for the rest of the home. Victorian decor often leaned towards symmetry in furniture arrangements and artwork. Chinoiserie, meanwhile, celebrates asymmetry and natural forms. Play with both, maybe a symmetrical Victorian sofa setup, punctuated by asymmetrically placed chinoiserie screens or vases, to create visual interest. Victorian fireplaces were centerpieces, often with elaborate tiles and marble surrounds. Introduce chinoiserie touches by using hand-painted tiles or incorporating lacquered folding screens beside the hearth. It's an unexpected detail that enriches the visual texture of the room. A major challenge is balancing the Victorian love for density with chinoiserie's ethereal spirit. One trick is to anchor a heavy Victorian furniture piece with lighter, airier chinoiserie accents nearby, perhaps a carved Victorian armchair next to a delicate silk screen or bamboo table. Victorians loved collecting, from taxidermy to rare books. Reinterpret this through a chinoiserie lens by curating a cabinet of porcelain figures, silk-bound books, and jade carvings. It pays homage to both the Victorian collector spirit and the chinoiserie love for craftsmanship. Both styles adore curves. Victorian furniture features rounded arms and scroll feet. Chinoiserie offers fluid dragons, clouds, and river forms. Emphasize these curves in your decor choices, creating spaces that feel alive, flowing, and surprisingly cohesive. Victorian decor often favored dark, aged metals like bronze and brass. Chinoiserie introduces polished brass, gilt finishes, and sometimes silver. Play with mixing these metals, a heavy Victorian chandelier paired with delicate chinoiserie candle holders, to layer in richness without overwhelming the senses. Incorporate architectural elements that nod to both worlds. Victorian crown moldings and wainscoting can coexist beautifully with chinoiserie latticework or fretwork panels. Architectural dialogue like this elevates the fusion from simple decoration to a fully realized immersive experience. Lacquered surfaces are a chinoiserie hallmark, glossy black, red, and gold finishes that shimmer with mystery. Pair these with the Victorian love for dark woods and mahogany to create surfaces that glow, adding depth and romance to cabinets, tables, and even walls. Each room should feel like a chapter in a novel, moving through a space where chinoiserie's mythical tales merge with Victorian grandeur. Allow rooms to unfold stories through their layering of materials, colors, forms, and styles, inviting guests to embark on a visual adventure. The beauty of blending chinoiserie and Victorian lies in personal expression. No two interpretations are alike. Choose elements that resonate with your spirit, whether it's an opulent Victorian fainting couch draped with a silk chinoiserie throw, or a Chippendale chair beneath a grand Victorian oil portrait. Fusing styles creates timelessness. By weaving chinoiserie's lightness and Victorian drama together, you aren't trapped by trends. Instead, you create a home that feels collected, worldly, and ever-evolving, a place where beauty never goes out of style. When chinoiserie grace meets Victorian drama, a magical world is born, one filled with tension, harmony, history, and dreams. As you craft your spaces, remember, it's your imagination that breathes life into these ancient styles. Make them dance together, and watch your home transform into a masterpiece of silhouettes and scrollwork.